in an effort to try and make better videos. Granted, we're still learning, we're still gaining a following. I got a tripod and I found what was supposed to be a better camera app, but because I don't know what all the settings and stuff are yet, or have had a chance to fix the lighting in the shop, I probably spent the entire time trying to prep when I could have just filmed it like this. Because honestly, the cameras on our phones really aren't that bad. But anyway, so hi guys, this is Hootie from Blue Coat Arms Company. Wanted to make a short video, longer than a reel, but still going to be relatively short, and talk to you guys about this bad boy. So for those of you who have been following us, this is the 1853 Snider-Enfield. This model is converted to cartridge, 5.77 caliber to be exact. So as you can see, here is the mechanism that changes or that allows for breech loading the cartridges. And then here is the nipple for ignition when it's ignited by the hammer. Very much still a percussion style format. I thought the sights, the rear sight on this was cool. So it's got the very traditional elevated sight, but if you look at the markings, they're a little different because, again, European based, but no, it's 100, 200, 300 yards. And then on here, if my phone will focus, but no, it's labeled 4, 5, 6, 7. So up to 700 yards. There are tons of stories and other markings for different later patterns of this rifle that went up even further than that. This is a Mark I. We know that because it's not labeled. They didn't start labeling them until Mark II. And further, some of my research that I have done tells us that tower builds in England were very popular for building these. So when they started doing the conversions, Tower was a armory company who did a lot of these conversions, and there were also a lot of private builds. People would just go to their neighborhood gunsmith and ask them to convert their Enfield with the Snider conversion. Funny enough, so the pattern 1853 Enfield is a British gun, but Jacob Snider was an American gunsmith and engineer who came up with this conversion. He started working on it in 1860 and couldn't get an American patent until after the Civil War. I think it was like 1866 or something like that. The U.S. Army tested it initially, but they didn't like it back before the war in the early 1860. But the British government loved it, and they started converting their weapons. Most of what I had seen was they converted somewhere between 5 and 700,000 of the Enfields that were in Britain at the time. And then, lo and behold, Britain wound up selling some of their converted rifles to the U.S. government, because the Snider-Enfield conversions were some of the more popular firearms on both sides of the war. So the more you know. But no, thought we could delve into the history of this guy a little bit. So it's a beaut. It's in relatively good shape. Customer's complaint was that the cartridges have been swelling in the chamber. So we're going to take a look at that. But that is a common problem with these guys. These guys are old enough. They've seen enough rounds through them. Loss of metal over years and years and years of being fired. Just leaves more room for brass to stretch. But there are a few things that we can try. He is also interested in having the barrel lined, wants to try and get it back to as accurate and true as possible. So that can be a debate in the comments if you want. Let me know if you are team historical accuracy or team gun performance, because I have heard both arguments. Depending on my personal opinion as a gunsmith, I do everything that I can to preserve the historical authenticity of these firearms as much as possible. But at the same time, I am also beholden to the wishes of my clients. So if I can do something that respects the authenticity of the firearm, but is going to allow it to continue to shoot for another generation or two, then, that's something to consider. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you think that the barrel should get a liner or not. But no, other than that, we're going to clean it up. Like I said, we're going to look at the chamber. We might look at fire forming some cartridges for him, which I will happily get into when we get to that point. But yeah, like I said, nothing super fancy, just a short-ish video trying to do some longer form stuff. We are also trying to work our way up to start recording projects from start to finish and doing actual builds and gunsmithing videos for you as much as YouTube and the other platforms will let us. So I appreciate you coming on this journey with us as we try and make Blue Coat Arms what Lydia and I both know that it can be. If you got questions about your own firearms, drop them down in the comments. Like and subscribe so that you can see what we're up to. We would be more than happy to help you in any way that we can. And if it gets to a point where you need help, we do shipping. You can contact us and ship us something that you need help with, and we're more than happy to work with you. So thanks again. Have a good night.